How's it going, guys? Today I wanted to do a video that's a little bit different than anything I've done before. The Lego room and everything is kind of crazy right now. All of the shelves are gone. I sold all of them, besides obviously the 3 for Star Wars. And the Lego City table is not built yet, so everything's on the floor. Everything's kind of all over the place. It's kind of a mess. I don't have any new sets, so I can't do any new reviews. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be going over my Lego collection and telling you guys and doing mini reviews, kind of, my favorite top 10 sets that I own. A lot of these sets I would have loved to do reviews on when I bought them. Obviously I bought almost every set I own before having a YouTube channel, so I have not been able to do Lego reviews on them. I'm not going to be doing like full reviews for any of these sets. I kind of want to just go over it, just have the excuse to talk about each one for a minute. And yeah, I think the list actually might be a little surprising to some people, which ones I consider to be my favorite sets, but they're all bigger sets, believe it or not. But like honorable mentions, the helmet sets, Grogu, little sets like that. I'm fans of those little sets, but I'm a fan of those sets. They're really nice, but they just don't compare to some of the bigger and nicer ones in my collection. So let's start. At number 10, we have the 2020 Lego Star Wars Razor Crest. I am a huge fan of this set. It is probably my second or third favorite ship from Star Wars, like in the actual franchise, not just Lego sets, but this is one of my favorite ships. I think it matches Mando's character perfectly, and I think it's got a really unique design, and they translated it to a Lego playset really, really well. It comes with a very nice selection of figures with Mando, Baby Yoda, Grief Karga, IG-88, and a Scout Trooper. Only one Scout Trooper, but I think that's better than none. And the ship itself has just a really nice displayability to it. It looks really nice. Shaping's not bad. They did a good job. It's got a bunch of nice play features. You can open it up, and I mean really open it up, because everything on the set opens up. Everything opens up, and it comes with a few nice features with like a few guys in carbonite, spots to have Mando sleep, store his guns, lots of passenger space, pretty much anything you could want out of a play scale Razor Crest. Definitely one of my favorites. I'm very happy to have it. Let's get to number 9. I'm not going to bother moving number 9, which is the Assembly Square Creator Modular, over to the desk. I have all the minifigs set up. It's kind of where I want it for the city, so it's going to stay on the floor. Also, a lot of these minifigs, like the gentleman with the flowers, the little girl throwing a coin in the fountain, the doctor, they do not come with this set, but I love this set very, very much. It was the second modular I bought. It is the biggest modular ever released. It is very, very big, very, very detailed. It has a ton of different stores, there's an apartment, a dentist, pretty much. It's a great add-on to any Lego City. It adds a ton of different businesses, a lot of character, and a nice little common area on the sidewalk to sit and enjoy. I think that's a date between a dog and a bunny, but we're not going to talk about that. But it's a great little, it's a great huge modular for any Lego City. I highly recommend it. And yeah, that's number 9. Easy enough. Number 8 is the police station. The police station is the new modular for 2021. I know it's not as big as the Assembly Square, but for some reason there's something about it that just does it for me. I think it's partially due to the story with it. If you watch the creator or the designer video from Lego about this set, it's basically this little newsstand down here. The dude running it was having a hard time selling newspapers, so he had to create his own story. He lives above the donut shop, and you can pop off the roof and open up his bed, and you can actually fish donuts out of the donut shop. So he is the donut thief that everyone's looking for, so that he can write his own news basically. And there's a bunch of nice little details with this set, with the jail cell having a hidden spot underneath that they're digging through, and they're almost out in the back. You can see a crack. It's got so much character to it. Obviously, I have the Spider-Men fighting Carnage up top. It has a nice big sign advertising Soap and Suds, which is the laundromat from the Brick Bank set. But I am just a huge fan of the set. I think I do like it more than Assembly Square, mostly because it's my first modular, so I have a kind of personal connection to it. It's the first modular I have. It's what made me really want to really dive into doing a Lego City like soon. But just the style of it, the aesthetics of it, the build itself was really enjoyable. And yeah, I would put it just a little bit higher than Assembly Square. Also staying on the floor with half of my collection is the Lego Creator Expert Roller Coaster, coming in at number 7. This set is just insane. It is huge. It is absolutely demanding in its size. The play feature of having it be actually functional is really great. It's fun to look at. The minifigs that come with it are great. The little side builds like the juice bar and the cotton candy stand are fantastic. The little details of the photo booth and the camera right on the drop. It is just a fantastic set. It's a very fun set, and it's what inspired me to start working on the Lego City and in particular the amusement park. And at number 6 we have the UCS Awing. I love the Awing. X-Wings are cool, Y-Wings are interesting. You cannot beat the A-Wing in my opinion. It is just the coolest ship that the Rebels have. It's the coolest ship that the Resistance has. So when they made this set, I could not resist. I've absolutely always loved the A-Wing, and this set is a perfect representation for this scale. Obviously pretty light in the play features department, as it's kind of a UCS set and is meant to just live on a shelf, but you can play with, oh, that's hitting the wall, hold on. Scoot that forward. You can play with these, kind of flip them back and forward like they do. I don't think it shows up in the movies, but the original model did do that. It comes with one minifig with the little A-Wing pilot, and obviously the UCS stand and plaque. But yeah, I think display-wise, you cannot do better than this for an A-Wing. I think it's fantastic. The build process for getting the weird kind of rounded shape, that kind of wedge shape in the front, it's very interesting. It's not repetitive, and the entire time you're building it, you kind of get surprised by how they managed to do some of the weird shapes. So yeah, that's my number 6. Number 5 is technically a few sets, but it is the 2020 Lego Sith Art. I have the Darth Maul up there on the wall and temporarily on the floor, which is definitely not its final resting place. You have the ultimate Darth Vader. These sets are fantastic. I think display-wise, you can't get a better looking set than these, but I can't honestly bump up the rating above my number 5 because the build process is tedious. It is not fun. Honestly, it is not a fun build at all. It is hours and hours and hours of just putting thousands of studs together. And then the most exciting part, honestly, is just building the frame. If you're interested in one of these, I recommend just getting one. Do like the Darth Maul, or they have the Vader or Kylo Ren available, as well as all of the other Lego art sets like Harry Potter, Marilyn Monroe with Andy Warhol, the Beatles, all that fun stuff. But it does get the number 5 spot because on the wall, or even on the floor, it is just a perfect art piece that belongs on any Lego collector's wall. Coming in at number 4, we have the Lego Ideas Barracuda Bay. I love pirates. Pirates are one of my favorite, aesthetics, things, whatever you want to call it. I love pirates. This set is an absolute treasure to build. It is so much fun. Every single step is enjoyable. There are way too many little details and hidden things to kind of just rave about in this set, which I don't really have time for in this video because it's not just about this set, unfortunately, but it is an absolute blast to build and the display is fantastic. If you're not a fan of the kind of crashed ship turned into a hidden fortress on a deserted island look, they do include instructions, which I'll show a picture on screen right now, where you can really quickly convert it into just a regular pirate ship, and then you have the whole island left over on the side. The people who have built that said it takes about 15-30 minutes to deconstruct and then reconstruct into that, so it's not even just like an alternate build. You just kind of take the pieces off, change out a few of the things that look all old and run down, and then replace them with newer, nicer looking things. But as much as I do love the look of the full pirate ship, the Barracuda Bay primary build is just too interesting, too cool looking, and I fell in love with it right when I saw it and I had to buy it. Now, let's get to the top 3. Now this one might surprise some people that it's only at number 3, but at number 3 we do have the Star Destroyer UCS set. This was an absolute, honestly, pain to build. I did have to build this set twice due to moving, and I didn't want to just risk it and try transporting it, so I did fully disassemble it and rebuild it fully without numbered bags or anything, so that was a bit of a nightmare. The fact that it's all giant plates that you're pushing together means that your hands and your fingers are going to hurt after a while. The first time I built this with the numbered bags, new in box, everything, my build was about 13 or 14 hours long. One sitting, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun to see it come together, but the actual process is brutal. It is not, it's not like building the Awing where it's fun and it's every once in a while you're doing something different. It's a lot of the same color, it's a lot of the same build techniques, but the final result is just unbelievable. There is nothing in my collection that I think gets more comments from people visiting, that gets more attention, that gets more, amazed looks. It's the first thing you see when you come into the Lego room, and I do have the Light My Bricks light kit and on the engines, and that just makes it an absolutely stunning piece of, honestly, art. It's artwork. It's amazing. It's the best looking set, or it's the most stunning set in my collection, I think. But I'm rating this or my sets not just on how they look, but also how much I like the actual ship, how much the build was annoying, all that stuff. My favorite shot in any Star Wars movie is actually the opening shot from New Hope, where you see the Tantive 4, which is included in the set, come on screen, and then it is tailed by the absolutely massive Star Destroyer. I remember the first time I saw that when I was just a little kid, and it blew my mind. It immediately made me fall in love with the Empire aesthetic, and I think that they are just, you can't beat the set. It's amazing. But since I'm ranking on more than just how much fun it is to look at, there are two ahead of it. So let's get to those. At number 2, we have the absolutely huge Lego Creator Expert Haunted House. I love anything spooky. I love haunted houses. I love theme parks. I don't like rides, honestly. So the roller coaster, if I was a minifig, I would go nowhere near that thing. But I like haunted houses, so I absolutely had to get this set. I don't know how I missed it, but before I bought this, I actually didn't realize it was a drop tower, a drop ride from an amusement park. I knew it was a haunted house and it had an elevator. I somehow thought it was just an elevator. I don't know why I thought that, but when I first built it and then tried out that feature, it blew my mind and it was so cool. So I think I have some a bit of a bias towards this set, but included, I do love it. It definitely is my second favorite set. It's a lot more fun to build than the Star Destroyer. It's honestly almost as much fun to look at, and also it does have that awesome play feature. You can open it up very easily and you get a lot of Easter eggs to old LEGO themes, mostly with the LEGO Adventurer stuff. Obviously this entire set is about Samuel von Baron. He is the one who collected all of these artifacts, and this is kind of shown to be his house that is now haunted. But you do get some cool play features where this sign is actually a button to push the light brick. So you have a portrait of Von Baron there, and then you can actually see the curse. That is so cool. It is very well done. It's just too cool. I also appreciate the junk bot reference that absolutely blew my mind when I was building this set. I don't know if anyone else played Junkbot. It was a Flash game in like 2000, 2002, something like that. I played that game to absolute death. So when I saw that they included Junkbot in this set, it made my night, and I think that's one of the reasons why this set just absolutely does it for me. As you can see, they have a nice chain mechanic back there where the elevator is, and I already have them all the way up top, so I'm gonna reset it real quick. So you start with them down on the bottom, and there is a crank back here, as well as all the technical fun Technic stuff that is really enjoyable to build. It really breaks up the bricks building, having that nice big Technic mechanical build on top of the really nice building build it's very nice. It switches it up. But if you crank that little handle in the back, they head up. You can see them in that window, you can see them in those windows, and when they get to the top, door opens and they drop. It is awesome. It is so cool. And obviously you can close this up, and you can see the chain moving. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. And there they go. It's very cool. It's so much fun to show people that mechanism. I don't think a lot of people expect it to work that way. It's very shocking. It's actually kind of loud, but it does land softly. It doesn't break anything, so you can do as much as you want. You also can get some motor pieces like what I have with the roller coaster, so that you don't need to crank that hand crank that yourself. It's hooked up to your phone. I don't need that. I kind of want to get it at some point, but I didn't bother getting it yet. At some point, I'll show you guys if I do end up getting that, but I don't plan on it. But yeah, the Haunted House is my second favorite set. Let's get to my first favorite set in my collection, my number one. And now for my number one favorite set, we have the UCS Slave 1. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. The Slave 1 is my favorite ship in all of Star Wars. Boba Fett, like many others, is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. And this set is just unbelievable. If you are a Star Wars fan, if you are a LEGO fan, a Boba Fett fan, if you like things that look cool, you need this set in your collection. This is one of the few LEGO sets, or specifically LEGO Star Wars sets, that I genuinely would consider to be a must-have for anyone who collects. It is perfect. The build is a blast, it's fun, it doesn't get repetitive, it doesn't get boring, it doesn't hurt like the Star Destroyer does. I think that it's a better design than the Star Destroyer, honestly, because the Star Destroyer, let me come over here, you can kind of see up in the cracks, and it's kind of hard to see on camera, but in person with the naked eye, there are a lot of holes in it. You can see the colorful bricks that make up the skeleton, and while they did do a good job of minimizing that, it's not a perfect build. I think it's a fantastic build, but compared to the Slave 1, this is a perfect build. I do not think they can make a better looking Slave 1 model than this. It is obviously on the stand right now, but you can take it off the stand. It comes with Boba Fett, a Cloud City guard and a Stormtrooper, as well as Han Solo and the Carbonite Han Solo. They are currently in the cargo hold. But you can spin the whole thing around, and even the backside is super detailed. You got all the engines and thrusters and all that fun stuff. Spin this back forward. You can pop open these doors. It's not really a play feature, it's kind of like an alternate display, so it's not like that important that's easy to pop out. But you do have quite an assortment of weapons if you prefer to display it with those out. I personally prefer the nice smoothed off look, so I don't have those. But yeah, everything, moves how it's supposed to. When you move the set around, the cockpit inside gyroscope, so he is facing the correct orientation. And yeah, I genuinely cannot say anything about this set that is bad. Really. Like, there are no cons to this set. Even the price, when it was on sale retail, it was $200. I bought it for $300 because I bought it after it retired, and obviously anyone who buys it now is going to be retired. I think that even $300 was a very, very fair price for this set. The experience of building it, the experience of displaying it, and getting a look at it every day is well worth it. And I genuinely can't say anything about the set that isn't just the highest praise. I'm filming this a few days later. I completely forgot I owned this set, which is crazy because in reality, it's like my third favorite set. I don't know how I did that. Granted, I did move it into the living room. But yeah, when I was making the list of my top 10 favorites, I had completely forgotten this thing existed. I realized too late I didn't feel like refilming the entire video, so pretend this is like number 3 and the Razor Crest isn't in the list. But yeah, bump everything down one. This is like number 3 or 4. Sorry. That's gonna do it for today's video. If you like this style of video, I have a few other ideas, doing like top 10 most wanted sets, least favorite sets, like bottom 10, what sets I think everyone should have, like what sets you should get if you're getting into Lego for the first time. Like, I wouldn't recommend that anyone starts with a Star Destroyer, but like if you want like a video on top 10 sets I recommend to new Lego fans, I would love to do that. That sounds like fun. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'll see you next time. Later.